Mark, so Two Guns.
Yeah.
It's got that sort of 80s buddy comedy feel, but you modernise it. It's anti-buddy comedy in many respects. You guys hate each other, don't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's us going head to head, which I love. You know, it's like, usually if you have this, you have the kind of funny guy and then the straight guy, or you have Denzel with some kind of weak guy who's kind of walking around behind him being his little puppy dog. And this was something that we wanted a guy that you had to really go at it and earn each other's respect. And I always want to be his friend. I always want to be with him. He's just reluctant. He's this kind of older, jaded guy, and I'm this kind of guy who still holds on to this belief about all the kind of things that I was taught by the military and my superior officers, and he kind of lives by that mantra. But I love that. It's a different take on it.
Because I thought you were saying that you've always wanted to be Denzel's friend, as in real life.
I do in real life. I see him all the time. We live in the same street. I see him all the time, It's like, hey, and he just drives by. I'm like, damn, all right, well, I'll be here when you get back.
Because, I mean, this sort of film, it lives and dies on the chemistry between you guys.
Yeah.
If you see him every day in your street and you wave at each other as you go off, drop your kids off at school and stuff, did you have to work on that?
No, it's one of those things where it's either going to be there or it's not. And I'd been attached for the movie to the movie for quite some time, and it was always about, well, what about so and so or so and so, and it was like, and then we just kind of took a shot in the dark at Denzel. It was like he and I are at the same agency, and they were like, well, you know what, he's coming off of this really kind of dark movie, maybe he wants to do something different, and they knew that he wanted to do comedy. It was just like me when I first started. It was a matter of finding the right people to start with and jump in, because if you come from a dramatic background and you do a comedy, it doesn't work. It kind of sets you back a bit. So
he's done a lot of dark movies in many respects recently. I mean, you've mixed it up a bit more than he has, and I don't want to be rude to you, Mark, but I like seeing you smile on the big screen. But when Denzel smiles on the big screen, I'm a big fan. We don't see it enough, and exactly. He's laughing all the time. It's nice to see him in that role.
That's what I said. Usually, you get one smile, maybe, and it lights up the screen. But with this, it was a lot of play. And he was having so much fun. He was like, and when we had dinner at the end of the movie, he was like, I'm so glad you got me to do this. And I feel like on the first day we were on the set together, I was just improvising and throwing insults at him, and he was like, oh shit, this is what we're doing, okay. And he just was right on board with it, and you could tell obviously that he had a blast doing it.
Because I watched the film this morning, and I was sitting there thinking, I thought, you probably, if this acting lark and producing lark doesn't really work out for you going forward, you could probably have a career in the forces. The amount of military training and roles you've played.
Gosh, yeah.
Was this different to what you've done before?
Yeah, I didn't really need to do. I was coming off of Pain and Gain, so I was 212 pounds, and obviously I didn't want to look like a bodybuilder playing this petty officer, so I had to train just to lose the weight, so that kind of physical training. So I looked the part, but I didn't do any other military training because I knew right after that I was going to do Lone Survivor, which is a movie about Marcus Luttrell and the worst tragedy in the history of the Navy SEALs. So I was going to have to train with the real SEALs, and Marcus was going to be on set every day. And considering what those guys really went through in real life, there was no kind of phoning it in. There was no complaining. We were going to do those guys justice.
So just finally, you got Lone Survivor, Transformers 4, Red 2. Any chance of a
Red 2?
Red 2, sorry, a Ted 2.
Oh, yes.
Sounds the same, very different movies.
Yeah.
Any chance of a 2
said, I ain't that fucking old yet.
Yeah, you're not quite Expendables. 2 Guns
shit.
2.
I remember Sly asked me though, like, hey, you want to come down to Brazil and do this movie? I was like, when? He goes, today. I said, no, it's just short notice, but thank you.
2 Guns 2.
You know what? If the audiences want to see it, I know Denzel and I had a blast working together. The first one has been a success in the States. If it, continues to be a success everywhere else around the world, and we can make it as good or better than the first, because there's always other paychecks out there. We want to do something better than this one. Then yeah, why not?
Red 10, maybe. Nice.
Ted 10, absolutely.
Love it.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.